In today's lesson, we will be looking at estimating measures in everyday context. Now, to estimate the length, the mass, so the weight, and capacity, which would be volume, so millilitres or litres, it is useful to know the size of common objects. Here are a few examples. So, a height of a man, you could say is about 1.8 metres or 6 foot. The mass or weight of a bag of sugar is 1 kilogram, and large bottles of fizzy drink usually hold 2 litres. You can use other everyday objects to make mental comparisons, so these could help you. So you could think of the length of a ruler, which is normally 30 centimetres if it's a big ruler, or capacity of a can of Coke, which is about 330 millilitres. And then we go into our first example, and it says to circle the quantity that is the appropriate estimate for each of the following. So the height of a man, now we did say it was 1.8 metres, but obviously that is just an estimate, so here you'd have to choose which one is the most appropriate, because not everybody's the same height obviously. So would a man be 170 kilometres tall? No, that's far too big. 170 metres tall. But if you think of a football pitch, that's nearly the size of 2 football pitches. So that's too big as well. 170 millimetres. Well, you could probably measure that on your ruler, because that's only 17 centimetres. And that's far too small. So it's actually 170 centimetres. Which is pretty close to 1.8 metres. Now the weight of a large dog, it's a little bit harder to picture, but you have 28 kilograms. 28 grams, that seems to be very, very light to me. And 28 milligrams, that's very light. And 280 grams, well, that's less than a bag of sugar. Would a dog, a large dog, weigh less than a bag of sugar? I wouldn't have thought so. So I would say it's 28 kilograms. Now the capacity of a car's fuel tank. Now if you haven't filled a car up with petrol or diesel before, you might not have noticed, you might not even thought about it. But when you go to fill your car up, or when you go into a petrol station, you will have seen those big signs and they say price of petrol is £1.20 per litre. So it's £1.20 per litre. That could help us when we fill with this question. We remember that it's the price per litre. So 60 centimetres cubed. But it's not going to be that, because that's way less than a litre. 600 millilitres is just over half a litre. So it won't be that. 60 litres, so it could be 60 litres. And 6,000 litres. Well, if we go back to the example I said, it was £1.20. If I filled my car up, that's going to be over £6,000 when I fill my car up. Now that doesn't make sense. So this one is 60 litres. So the floor area of a room, again it's a little bit strange to think of, because obviously rooms are different sizes. We have 18 metres squared, 18 centimetres squared, which seems quite small, 18 millimetres squared, that's very small, and 18 centimetres cubed. Well, we know first of all it can't be the centimetres cubed because that's to do with volume, and we're looking at area, and these are far too small, so it's 18 metres squared. So the next question, again circle a quantity that is the appropriate measurement or the appropriate estimate for each of the following. So weight of a 16-year-old male. So we have 65 kilograms, 650 milligrams, which is very, very light, 65 grams, which is very light, and 6.5 kilograms, which is a little bit more, but it's still pretty light, especially when we remember the weight of a large dog from the last question was 28 kilograms. I would say a 16-year-old male weighs more than a large dog, so it's going to be 65 kilograms. The volume of a bucket of water, so 450 litres. That seems far too much for me. 45 millilitres, well, that's way too small. 4.5 centimetres cubed. Now, even though it's cubed, we can use this because it's centimetres cubed, but that, again, that seems small. So I would say it's 4.5 litres. The distance from Cardiff to London, is it going to be 240 centimetres? Well, no, because we'll be able to see it. 24 kilometres? No, I'd say that's still too small. 240 millimetres? No way. So it's going to be about 240 kilometres. At the height of a woman, is a woman going to be 170 metres tall? No, it's just nearly the size of 2 football pitches. 1,700 centimetres? Well, that would be 17 metres tall, so that seems far too big. 170 centimetres or 170 millimetres, sorry. Millimetres is too small, so again, it would be about 170 centimetres. So the next question is slightly different, because it says that the picture shows a large yacht of a man standing on the deck, and you can see the picture. Surely working, estimate the height of the top of the mast above sea level. So what we need to do, we're actually going to need a ruler. So with our ruler we can, first of all, I would say we can measure the height of the man. You can see there, the height of a man is about 1 centimetre. So you could say the man is 1 centimetre. And if we had to guess or estimate the height of a man, well, I'd probably say 6 foot. And then we want to measure the height of the mast. So you can keep the ruler where it is, because the mast starts from here. And it goes up to 8 centimetres. So the mast is equal to 8 centimetres. Now if we have to work out what that is, or what that would be in feet, let's go from 1 to 8. We've actually times by 8. So we'd have to do 6 multiplied by 8, and 6 eighths are 48. So, question 4. Sean and Annie visit the Natural History Museum. Whilst at the museum, they visit the central hall where the Diplodocus dinosaur is on display. Sean tries to estimate the length of the dinosaur. Write down an estimate for the actual height of a man. Using this estimate for the height of the man, estimate the actual length of the Diplodocus dinosaur. You must show all your work. So write down an estimate for the actual height of the man. Well, I would say 6 foot. You could say 1.8 metres, or maybe 170 centimetres, but for me, I choose 6 foot. Now again, we're going to use a ruler to help us measure the height of the man. So I bring my ruler over. Again, in this question, the height of the man is 1 centimetre. So you'd say the man is 1 centimetre, which is equal to 6 foot. Now we need to measure. How long the Diplodocus was. So they've given us the line. I would say we need to measure the line because it could be open to interpretation otherwise, where it starts and ends. So you can see if I put it level. that the length of the line is 14 centimeters. So it goes from 0 to 14. So the Diplodocus, I'll call it Dippy, is 14 centimeters. And again, if 1 centimeter was 6 foot, to find 14 centimeters, we'd have to times by 6. And 6 times 14 is 84 feet. 84. Now can you please make sure you've copied down all the notes and examples, and you put gwaith dosbarth and the date, please, in your big books. Thank you.